Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tanya of CuteNCuddlyNursery. I know it's been like a long time since I've gotten back to these babies. I finished two of them. I finished the Jackson Asleep and Skya, and I have them put away. They're waiting for their bodies. Skya's waiting for her hair, actually, and the body. And this is where I left off with Andy Asleep by Linda Murray. And so I have this one. And then also, this one's a little, I don't know, like they've been covered and yet they're still dusty. And I don't know how, I don't know. But anyway, so, and here is Tobiah by Laura Lee Eagles. And this is as far, as I got with this one as well. So, Tobiah's a lot darker. Let me show Tobiah and then Andy. So Tobiah is darker than Andy is, but that's alright. I think I'm going to leave Andy more of lighter skin tone. I think. But I want to add, I see hair on Andy. I want to do a like red layer as well as blushing. Just trying to get these hairs off of here. I've heard that the tackiness of the paint, because it stays tacky for me, and then a lot of these little lint stick to it, and it's just really disheartening, at least for me. So anyhow, I ordered, I just want to put Andy over here. I ordered this Liquitex Professional Matte Medium, and it says fluid medium on the bottom. And so I'm going to add it to the paint to thin it out instead. I don't know if you can read that. Pause and read if needed. I'm going to add that instead of so much of the high flow. Another artist was saying that the high flow can make your paint stay tacky. So as you can listen, this is really liquidy. So, oops, sorry, just giving it a quick shake. Shake it upside down and everything. This makes me think of the paint mixer when I was in college. It would shake, 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 shake really fast. Made in France. We had to, of course, mix paint before you put it on the car. You gotta mix it up. Okay, so my poor brushes have been in limbo for a long time. I should get a whole like a painter's tarp or something and just over the whole thing out. I should probably. So I'm going to use this Naphthol, I don't know how to pronounce that, Red Medium to do our blushing. And I just realized I don't have, I need a Kleenex over here. Because I like to use that to open the paint so that I don't break a nail. There we go. And then I'm also not getting paint all over my hands, although it does happen. I can't stay super clean. So I just broke it. Okay. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of the burnt umber. I have it in a tube because I didn't have the little bottles the one day, so, and it works the same, so. I just put in a drop of each, and I do want my red to be fairly dark. So I'm adding in another smidgen of this just to get like a nice kind of deep color. I'll show how it looks. So make sure you mix that paint up really well before adding your medium. So I'm going to add in a little bit of retarder, and this is a like thick kind of gel, and so I don't put in that much, just whoops, a couple of drops. There we go. It decided to come out on its own, probably because I just super shook it. There we go. And so then you want to mix in the retarder really well. Also, make sure there's no lumps or anything like that. So I'll show what it looks like as well. So still pretty thick. We don't want it too thin, but I do want to add red, a red layer all over Tobiah and Andy here, but not too red. Like this is Jackson's leg. I forgot to put a little heart. I usually put a heart on the thigh, and I forgot to do that, so I grabbed a leg. There's some little bumps on here or something. But anyhow, you can see a red mottle tone throughout this little leg as well. And I also did a yellow layer, which we will do as well. So I wanna paint on a little heart on his leg, and then I'm just gonna leave it. It's already been sealed, so I think painting over, and then I'll once I do these guys, I'll seal them. I'll put a little bit of sealer over the heart as well. So anyhow, so I'm gonna add in, and this is also a squeeze bottle. So I'm just gonna add, oh dear, this is pretty thick. I'm not sure how much not a tablespoon, like a teaspoon amount. This is also air dry paint, by the way, and you can mix golden and Liquitex is fine. They don't seem to have any issues with each other. And I'm going to add in a bit of the high flow, and it's really thin as well. It's more like a water consistency, so I'm just going to add in a bit of that. Normally I would have filled the whole dish with it, but yeah, I've gotten the tackiness, like I said, and another artist mentioned using this instead of so much high flow. So I thought, okay, I want to test that out and see. I have to go very soon, so I at least want to get some paint on Andy here to do a test. And it did lighten up to be kind of like a raspberry color or something. I'm not sure what color you would say that is. I was trying to tilt it in the light so you can see it. It's kind of more on a kind of a purpley side. I don't know, it's weird because, you know, it starts out kind of crimson, and then when you add in the mediums, it goes another color. But that's okay. I'm not sure. I don't think I want to use that sponge. I know I got that one out, but I think I want this one, which has fuzzies. Pre-remove any fuzzies. There we go. And then also we want to get it wet so that it'll accept the paint. I didn't think I took that long to get ready for the video. The paints, or the water's a little cold. I find that the sponges prefer warm water. I don't know. It seems to expand easier and better. And I need a catch-all, kind of, doesn't have to be new every time. This is just a sponge that I've been using just as a blending sponge. I call it my catch-all, but it's a blending sponge. And it's been rinsed, but just like the others, they just get stained. There we go. I'm like, what's the word? I can't think. Okay, yeah, so stained. Alright, we're gonna check for any foreign objects, spiders, whatever, that may have gotten in there. I do not want. Okay, so I would start at the back of the head, because this is the less likely spot that you're really gonna see anything. If there is any boo-boos or anything like that, I started the back, so that's what we're gonna do with Andy here. And I like to work in small-ish areas and blend it in. If you lightly push on the sponge, more of that pattern is gonna stay. Make sure it's nice and blended. We don't want to see any like hard edges, I guess you call it. Because then if we see hard edges, it's not gonna look good. Okay, so now I'm gonna reload my sponge, because as you could tell, it was darker over here versus when I got here. See how dark the paint is now. And then as I went across the head, it got lighter, because of course the paint's running out on the sponge. But where it's darker, I definitely want to start there first. And any spots, there's spots on here. Any spots that are dark, you want to get right away so that they don't end up like that or stay that way. Okay, so I've got a spot that sometimes, I don't know, it just depends on the kit. They don't want to take paint in a spot for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't seem to want to. I mean, there's a little bit here, but if you just lightly go over it, I don't want too much there. If you lightly go over it and then blend, that helps. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little bit of water because I think this is a little bit too thick. So I don't use very much water at all. If you saw, I only grabbed like a few drops is all. If you think that you've got too much on your sponge, too much paint, you can dab it on your paper towel and then apply. Just make sure that you are giving a slight turn to your sponge, because you don't want it, like I do it with this sponge too, because I'm used to doing it with the other sponge, so I'm like, well, I got a sponge in my hand, I gotta turn it as well, which is fine. Doesn't hurt. And there's some little brown spots on here, and I don't know when that would have happened, but it's okay. I think it kind of, they look like moles, and I think that's kind of natural looking, so I'm just leaving it. I want to paint August next, as I'm supposed to be working on other babies, but I've got this, if you saw my box opening of August, by Dawn McLeod, there we go, couldn't remember her name for a second, and And she has a contest in January. I think it's January. Pretty sure. For her latest kit, which is the August. And so if you want to participate, if you're an artist as well, she has a contest, which I'm sure everybody knows about, to be the prototype artist for her next kit. And I forget what the next kit's called. I don't know. I don't remember. It's hard for me to keep up with all of that. So I don't remember what the kit is that you would be like reborning as a prototype. But, I think it would be kind of fun, so I'm gonna go ahead and try, I always miss, like, I don't know, I'm just like not paying attention or what, but a lot of the time I will miss any contests coming up. Like, I missed the Huxley, which I had my Huxley kit. I just didn't know that there was a contest. And then McPherson's announces the winners, and it's like, oh, congratulations, I didn't even know there was a contest, but that's awesome. And so yeah, when I saw that there's a contest for August, I ordered a kit, and they finally shipped. I think the pre-order was originally in August for the kit, and yet they didn't, they had issues, I guess, with the factory. Completely understandable why it wasn't out yet. So yeah, but now they're out. I did get mine. And I saw Boy before. I definitely see Boy still. And I bought some fancy outfits. Thinking, okay, if I win, the baby should, and if I don't win, still should have really nice outfits, right? And I splurged a bit because when you have a prototype, you splurge on the outfit. There's a bit of a line there, and I think it's there because I think it was there before. Anyway, so yeah, I'm planning on I can make that into a scratch up here. That's fine with me. So my thoughts are that I am going to possibly make it into a boy. I'm thinking boy right now. I got like a nice fancy, like, it's almost Reborn Nina, is that how you pronounce, I hope that's how you pronounce it, style, which is what a lot of like the prototype artists use as her style, or her outfits, I'm sorry. And their outfits are so expensive, but there's times where I'm like, man, I wish I could afford one of these outfits. They're like $90 Canadian, and alone, that's like, no, not with shipping. So yeah, I'm not going there anyway, yet. I can't afford that. If I did get the prototype opportunity, I don't know, I mean, I can try to make my own with that same style and whatnot. So I'm just adding color where I feel like it needs color right now. And there's a blue dot. Did that come off? It kind of came off. Okay, that's the thing about air dry too. You can't really just pull things off when you see. Some of them will come off, but some will not. I really like this face though. I always like kind of avoided the cradle kits. Yeah, the cradle. And I always kind of avoided them because they all looked kind of dolly to me. They didn't look like realistic baby. They just looked dolly. And I mean, to be honest, I still think they look pretty dolly. I'm going to move on to Tobiah. First, I'm going to try to paint a little heart on here if I can. It's kind of like with this guy's really linty. I feel really bad. I'm going to selling him at a bit of a discount price. This brush might be too big for this. Because of the lint on the kit, and I just, excuse me, I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to strip and start over the whole thing. I feel like I just don't have time. I don't know if anyone's like feeling that lately, like time is just running out. I kind of like, I don't even really have that drive anymore to really be focused on, you know, reborns and whatnot anymore. I don't know how to explain it. No, you can barely see that. I'm gonna have to go over that a few times. But anyway, I don't know what I really feel like I should be doing or anything. I already put my hand in here. I didn't check for any spike in it. I do have the back of the eyes cut open. I don't know. Yeah, you can see back in there. I have the eyes cut open. I had 4 or 5 pairs of different browns that I have in my collection. Well, not really my collection, in my shop. But whichever ones I decide, and her mommy decides, I'll take them out of the shop if I have them. If not, I order enough eyes all the time that I constantly have them coming in. That reminds me, I did switch. I'm still on Etsy, but Etsy, I don't know if a lot of people are familiar, but they take quite a chunk now. And so I'm, you know, every time somebody clicks an ad outside of Etsy to come to my shop, no matter what they purchase, they don't have to purchase whatever it was that they clicked on. Anything that they clicked on that Etsy used, because they use like everything, ad-wise, so they put everything out there, everything in your shop. And so what they do is if you've made 10,000 US in a year on Etsy, you pay 12% off of, or from that ad that brought somebody in. Like I said, no matter what they bought. It doesn't have to be that specific item. It can be anything in your shop. They are going to take 12% off the whole thing. If they used an offsite ad to get to that product. And that's really irritating for me. Because, you know, if somebody buys a pair of eyes and it's $50, I don't know what 12% is, but there goes my profits. I've basically, all it's done is paid my Etsy fees. And that's it. You know, they don't take it out of shipping, which is how it should be. You know, they can't take it out of shipping because your shipping shouldn't be part of that. And so if you haven't sold 10,000 US in a year, if you haven't made that much, you have to pay, or you pay 15% on transactions that were brought from offsite ads. So on top of their like 5% that they were already taking, and then on certain transactions or yeah, they take another like 3%. So altogether, you're losing, you know, quite a bit of money. Because I remember when I first started, they were, you know, were like 3.5%. And that was fine, you know, that was good and whatnot. But I wasn't getting hardly any sales. And now all of a sudden, it's like they've gotten really greedy because they were saying, oh, you know, we put so many millions or whatever into advertising. And so they brought up the price, or their fee from 3.5 up to 5. And I thought, okay, well, that's fine. You know, they're putting more money into marketing, getting more people to our shops and getting more people to Etsy and all that, right? So, but now they're having us pay for these ads as well as leaving that price increase, you know, and I just think that that's wrong. And I'm not the only one. There's others that are expressing the same thing, and also leaving Etsy. So right now, I'm still there. I have my remaining stock of eyes and everything on there. So I'm going to leave it alone. And anything that's on there, like I said, it's separate stock from my new website. My new website is CuteNCuddlyNursery.com. I purchased the domain name as well. Ooh, that's a little too much. I purchased the domain name just so it'd be easier to find me. And I wasn't sure if I wanted .com or .ca. You know, my husband said, well, you would, you know, what's the word? Be easier for like, and look better for Canadian buyers. But, you know, most of my purchases actually go to the US. So, it was actually a few dollars cheaper to go with .com than it was to go with .ca for whatever reason. I'm just going over this again just to make sure it's all blended and whatnot. So, yeah, I went with .com, like I said. I want to be, like, I want more people to be able to find me, and I feel like .ca, people might not remember .ca, but they might remember .com if they need to find me, right? So, and I can list whatever I want on there. I had some diapers taken down on Etsy before, but Etsy's more, right, as a homemade stuff. I mean, I do sell some homemade things, and you can also sell supplies, and you can sell vintage stuff. So like the eyes are a supply. I had the diapers, some of the diapers as a supply, but they still took them down. I'm not really sure why they would have removed them. But they did. And I do put in the description that, like, I'm not selling them as for babies. I mentioned that, you know, they fit this size or that size of reborn. So, anyhow, there's that. Oh, she's looking so pretty. I wish I had the eyes over here. I put them all behind me on the other table. But she's looking really nice. I keep picturing her with, like, long black hair and stuff. I don't know if I'm doing curly. I imagine slightly wavy. Curly would be fantastic, like a big, like, kind of afro-y, and then put into a ponytail with the afro. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I have a reference picture. Anyhow, with the new website, I'm trying to make it look similar like Etsy was or is. Like I added in, like, you can put reviews on products, so the certain eyes you can do reviews. It's calculated, shipping's calculated, although I think I did put fixed back in for the US because she doesn't have enough coloring for me in her cheekies. So anyhow, I was gonna add some more color to the lips. I really like this color for the lips. It's like a nice pinky. I'm not sure what color to say it is. It's just like a nice light pink. And I am touching her head already. Some might like kind of wonder like how soon can you touch it? And I mean, to the touch, she feels dry. I don't want to touch her lips though because I just painted them, but I think you're pretty safe to touch the mouth, wherever you paint really, after like a minute or two. It's pretty quick, the drying process. That's what I love about air dry paint as well. You don't have to wait a long time. And I see a hair here. Like my husband just sent me a screenshot. Oh, there's a hair here. When did I get here? Talking about like heating plastic and stuff and the dangers of it, and I don't do that anymore, thankfully. But I don't know that I want to get rid of my oven yet. I do. I kind of want to hold on to it. It's just like just in case kind of thing. If I need it for some reason, I can put it outside and leave it for a little while until whatever gets cool enough. Of course not right now. Right now I wouldn't even be painting with Genesis paints because of the weather. I don't have a garage. That would be awesome to have a garage. But I just paint on my patio here right out the door. So with the patio, I just put right next to me out the window here so I can keep an eye on it when I did put it out. I used the oven and put it outside. And so then when I did that, I could, definitely keep an eye on it because I always worried what kit's gonna melt on me, you know, like you just hear all these horror stories from so many people. I'm just trying to blend this with a dry brush there. And like, oh, my oven malfunctioned or whatever on me and it melted this kit, and it's like, woo, you know, I don't want any kits to melt. I had a Twin B one time, which I don't know if it was, I think it was just the vinyl, but it had gotten shiny on me in the oven, and I never really had that happen before. And I always bake them on the 6 setting, which I don't know if that was 250, 255, lower than most people, I think, will set them on, or set the temperature at. I was trying to make sure the ears look similar. So yeah, just a little less as far as temperature goes. Oh, there's a hair there. I have to get that hair out of there. And it was like melting. Like if I didn't, you know, I've had to like dial back the temperature. I think I cooked it at like 4 or so, but not 6 like I was previously. Oh, she's looking beautiful. I think she still needs some yellow though, like I said, to kind of add some more warm tones. And I do need to go over her lips more as well. But yeah, so my experience with the oven, I don't think, I mean, I did, before I got the New Wave, I was using just is it like a conventional, what was it, the little like, I don't know, it was so tall, you could put like 2 or 3 pizzas in it, and I thought that would be good. But there wasn't much room for the top element, oh, I guess you can't see, top element to be over the head. I can't remember what kit it was now, but there was one. I just want to add some color in the here as well. I'm all over the place, I know. That's why you gotta watch the whole video. You never know if you're gonna miss something. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how she is looking. She's beautiful. And, okay, we should add some color to her ears too, huh? I guess, because her ears aren't all that colored. I'm gonna use a sponge instead. This is my sponge that I use for blushing instead. There's a piece of brush in my water. So, I'm just gonna put her head down over here next to Andy for a minute, just so I can paint a little bit of color on this sponge here. And yeah, so I have no idea what I was talking about. I get sidetracked so easily, or onto another. I'm like a dog and a squirrel or something. Oh, squirrel. What was I talking about? So, anyhow. Okay, so she, like I said, is looking good. Her mommy's been really patient waiting for her. I'm so slow. I know I'm so terrible. I'm so sorry. But I don't, mean to be so slow. I'm like the type, I have to be doing something, but I don't want to do the same thing all the time, or I'm gonna go crazy. I can't do the same thing. Okay, so we added a little bit of color to those ears. And she is looking really nice. There's tons of snow out here, so that's pretty much what is, brightening it up in here. I just wanna, oh shoot, I gotta go very, very, very soon. I'm gonna have to make a note which limb I painted and which ones I need to. So here's her arm right now. Not a whole lot. I did add a little bit of pink. I'm not sure if I'll do any more. I might add a little bit more color. Otherwise, I'll be doing creases for sure. And painting her little nails, because I haven't yet, obviously. So, if I want to show how to do the nails, I just kind of paint across them to make it look, add that moon in. And then, oh wait, I don't want that sponge. I just kind of like put the sponge a little below the line, and then I pull down on the line. And then you can go back in and kind of blend it a little bit. And there's a hair here again. I don't really want to scrape it off though, because when you scrape it, I'll just show the finger anyway, the little nail that I just did. So yeah, scraping, this isn't the best brush for this, but it works. Scraping hairs off is not a good idea, because that can take paint too, and we don't want to take paint. Okay. I don't know that I love this, so. And another hair. So annoyed with those hairs. So I'm really hoping that this, where did it go? This matte medium, and then it says fluid medium, so high hopes for it right now to get rid of the tackiness and be a good addition. I'm going to try to get that, the hair that's next to the sand anyway, or the nail. I should have tweezers here. And then the hair here might be, this one looks, oh there. I'm gonna say it looks like it's part of it. I'm just grabbing some of the paint on the edge of the bowl, not in it, because what's on the edge is going to be thicker because it's been drying out. I gotta get ready for a, or for, not fur, for a birthday party coming up. It's that time of year again. Not for me. I don't like saying when my birthday is, but I know some people know if you're friends with me on Facebook. Please don't add me to Facebook. I feel bad not adding people, but my Facebook just has Dr. Berg stuff on it. That's keto stuff. And then I started watching this serious keto guy as well. I just found him and he seems very knowledgeable. He was overweight before, so he kind of, in some of his videos, he gives his story from being overweight to where he is now, and he's just, you know, easy to talk to, listen to, informative, like I said. He tests products and stuff like that, which is pretty good. You know, it saves you some money than testing them yourself. So, and he's got quite the following, so he can afford to do that. Here we go. So I just lightly painted the nails and the thumb, if I can turn it a certain way. I'm not sure that this is dark enough. What am I doing? I'm not sure this is dark enough to do the creases. Let's try one here. I'm just lightly going across the crease, and so like the brush is getting some of the outer, but not a lot. So you can see that. Oops, one crease. Oops, sorry, I'm bumping. Okay. And then this I'll do a little more and then blend. I don't know where these little spots on the brush are coming from. Okay, anyway. I saw a beautiful version of a baby today, and I don't remember what the kit was. But it was gorgeous. The skin color was really nice, creamy skin tone. It looked pretty much flawless, but when you looked at the creases, only some of them were painted. And I'm thinking, well, that's not done. Like, you gotta do all of the creases. And I know some of even like the prototypes, it doesn't look like they've really done the creases. And so it's like, well, people spend like, you know, thousands. Oh, I think this is on the sponge, the little spots. I don't know where I'm picking them up from though. Alright, I'm putting that down because I can't maneuver very well holding on to that. Okay, so getting in, you know, the tight little areas is difficult because now I touch the top of this one finger. And so I just want to blend. Like I said, I think this black is coming from this, but I don't, unless it's just on the edge here. I'm just going to peel some of that off. Okay. And I just want to add a bit darker creases. I hope I'm in the frame. I moved the camera, or the tripod, it's still next to me, but it's more above me rather than lower and next to me, so hoping that will help things. Like, everybody will be able to see me better and I won't be so out of frame. There's a little bit of crease on that finger there. I still think I'm going to have to probably go over this some more. There we go. Okay. Oh, that heat's making me feel kind of dizzy. Too warm, too warm. Earlier I was freezing. I wasn't all that cold, but for some reason in here it felt freezing. And I keep the temperature up pretty high. I have a issue with circulation. I always have. And so I've always been pretty cold, especially like my feet are cold right now, but my hands are warm because I'm using them. But normally hands and feet are cold. And I took ginkgo biloba for circulation. It is a blood thinner, and so I took it thinking I want to be warm, you know. I've spent my whole life being cold, and to be warm, you know, have warm hands and stuff would be nice, you know. I ended up stopped taking that, I don't know, after like a week maybe, because I was noticing like my hands and feet were hot at night and I couldn't sleep. Like normally I put like some heat socks on, which are just, you know, thermal socks. So here's the hand. I think that looks good. I don't know that I'll add any more color than that. That looks good to me. So, and then the nails. So I'm gonna put the over top. What time is it? I have 1 more minute and then I gotta go. Alright, well, anyhow, I'm just gonna add a bit more water in here because as the paint dries, it does thicken, of course, as it dries. So before I leave, I'm going to add a bit more water to this just so it, and a bit more thinner probably, just so it's not going to be drying out while I'm away for an hour. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, there's my alarm. It says it's -8 out there right now, and that is not Fahrenheit, sorry, that is Celsius. Now that I've lived here for so long, I forget Fahrenheit. I don't know. But I do find that seems like it's more accurate. Celsius is more accurate. Can you tell the difference in this already? Like the red is kind of made the top portion of the arm darker versus down here. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but I can tell just by sitting here, of course. But yeah, that's looking really nice. I'm just adding a bit more color to the elbow. I think I used up all the color on that sponge. And I'll also want to add more along like the knuckles here as well. Like my hands are pretty warm right now. Like they're not, but like I definitely prefer, oh, I don't have enough color on my sponge. Definitely prefer though to have cold feet at night. I put on my thermal socks and I can, as soon as like my feet will warm up to where I can go to sleep, and I fall asleep. And then if I wake up in the night and my feet are hot, I just kick them off and then my feet cool back down and I go right back to sleep. But when I was taking that ginkgo, they were just hot. My feet were hot all the time, and I would find myself like laying awake at night with hot hands and hot feet and just being like, man, I need to cool off somehow and go to sleep, and I just couldn't do it. And then now that I stopped taking it, I think it was a month ago now, but I definitely feel better. Some of this isn't all as blended as I wanted. Oh, it's just mottle and it's not as blendy as I want, but that's okay. So you can kind of see with the red. Let me grab the other arm. It's got a bit of dust on her. I have to de-dust. But anyhow, so here are the two arms. This one's got red, no red added. So you can tell the difference already. So I am going to go ahead and finish the other limbs when I get back. And then I'm going to come back in another video with some yellow. We'll use the Naples, is that how you? Yellow hue. And it's like a golden-y color, so we'll use that one, I think. Otherwise I have yellow ochre as well, so one of those. So anyhow, I've had to get going, but I will be back, hopefully do some painting. I do need to start dinner still. That's my thing. Like with it being winter, I might have to do some lamps and paint during the winter, especially for the morning. I don't know. Anyhow, so I gotta get going, but thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you're having a warm day.